checking up on them and where they are.
Oh yes, we're gonna use some PowerPoint or like some slides, and
Okay,
this slide's gonna be
are they on
shared.
the progression web the progression sessions website? Is that where they're located?
Not currently not. But I'm pretty sure Josh later he can send you through an email or
Okay.
whatever, like you guys can communicate, and that would be easier for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you. And CMAC, if you can lobby in here as well.
C-Mac, I need your help.
Now, are these, where are the recordings located? Because I did not, I take notes on these things, but it's all the resorts in Japan.
So Jim, I will send you the link to the recording.
Thank you
All right.
for both of them, all of them. Thank you.
Ooh. All right. Tonight
I
we're
have to
gonna
hold CMAC accountable because trust me, he's holding me accountable too.
all
Exactly. All
right.
right. You got hey Josh, go for it.
Yeah, all right, all right. Hi, how can I share my screen here?
So on the bottom, that
Mm-hmm.
green button that says share,
Okay.
and then just pick your screen.
Oh, cool. Let's see.
And then once you pick your screen, and you have to say share, I think.
There. Cool.
Uh,
I apologize in advance. I made this like in Chinese. This is just a quick agenda for tonight. I list all these four are the topics we're gonna talk about. The first one is basically the first three are the three main region or areas we are able to have snow or is rideable or skiable in China. First one is Xinjiang. It's a big area in the northwest of China. It's a super large area and very famous, but far away from all of the main cities, say Beijing or Shanghai or any other city you might know. And the second called Chongli, it's the actual place or location host 2022 Beijing Olympic. That was really uh, close to where Beijing is in the north part of China. And the third one here is the northeast part of China. It's pretty large. It's a large area, has several large ski resorts. And the fourth part here I put is like the indoor snow dome, it,
mhm.
and also the dry slope. And I will invite Benny later to talk about that. He had a really good experience this summer, I would say. All right, first we're gonna start with Xinjiang, and I invited a girl called Tata. Do you have a name? Do you prefer go by Tata or whatever your name? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can just call me Tata. It's like my preferred name. And
Oh,
should I
all right.
share?
Yeah, yeah, I will just stop sharing my screen here.
You might have to make her a co-presenter too.
Yep.
Okay,
Um,
there you go.
let's see.
Then you can share.
Where's the share button?
The green one in the
Oh,
middle.
I got it. And full screen share.
I got to put on a hat.
Can you see? Can you see me? Can you see my
Yes,
PowerPoint?
yes, I can.
Yeah, so hi everyone, this is Tata, and I'm now in Altai, Xinjiang. So you can see it's daylight out there. Yeah,
Is this
I
a
came
live
back.
shot? Is this a live shot?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's actually in Xinjiang area. I would say she called this as her second home. And
Oh, good.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
um where do I start? So uh this area, its name is called Altai, and it's very, very, very on the most northwest part of China. Like I'm literally now less than 100 kilometers from Russia, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan.
Oh,
And here we've got these big mountains called Altai Mountains. It's almost as big as Rockies or other big mountains you can think about. So yeah, also I apologize that I made my PowerPoint in Chinese too. I thought it was among the Chinese community, so I didn't think much. Sorry for that. And yeah, so where to start the introduction?
It's all great. No apology necessary.
This is where I am at here. This is Mongolia, and this is Kazakhstan, and on the top is Russia here. And
oh,
I will speak about three resorts. One is Jiangjunshan in the Altai city, and one is Koktokay here, and another one, Hemu, is where I am at. So first, why should we come to Altai to ski and snowboard? But other than other resorts that are near to big cities where the traffic is more friendly. Um, First of all, I believe here we have one of the best resorts in China. And we've got a lot of powder, very dry powder, and a lot of bluebird days. Like before I come to Seattle, I actually never snowboard or ski on a snowy day because I can't see anything. And speaking of a lot of powder, last week we just got about 1 meter deep. That is 50 inches of powder. And here we've got a lot of big mountains, various terrain, like trees and maybe 3,000 feet above tree line, and also pillow lines if you like. And so it's a good place for free riding, a lot of off-piste terrain. And what's special about this place is also that it's populated with Kazakh people, so the culture is very different from mainland China, from the inner land. And one of the thing I like about this place is that the resorts usually open at 10 a.m., like sometimes at 9:30 a.m. because we use Beijing time here, but actually the sun comes up 2 hours later than Beijing. So I don't have to get up really early, like in 7 or 6 a.m. to go to the resort. But however, the cons about this place is that um, this is a very, very remote place. A flight from Beijing to here always take about 4 hours. And so the weather is also not very good if sometimes you got a blizzard. And the road condition can be, I would say, very challenging. If you have never drive on ice, I wouldn't recommend drive here. And these resorts are open very recently, like they've only opened 5 years ago. So a lot of infrastructure are still developed here. So if you like very good resorts, good holidays, something like you don't get to how should I say? It's not a very, very holiday-like resorts here. So not something like Aspen or Whistler. But well, we've got everything we need, but not very, very top tier. And if you're going to snowboard or ski in Altai, I would recommend that if you have at least 1 week to take the tour because of the traffic conditions can vary. So how
Tata, how about accommodations? So if you are in Beijing, you have
Yep.
you get a car or friends or whatever, you do drive up for 4 hours, 5 hours. Is there plenty of accommodations, hotel or apartments?
Yeah, this is what I'm going to talk about on
Okay.
this slide.
All right.
So first, 4 hours from Beijing is a 4 hours flight from Beijing, and it only get you to Urumqi. It's a capital city of Xinjiang province. And yeah, so you still have to drive 5 to 6 hours to these three resorts
Oh, I
or
see.
take the plane.
It's 4 hours to fly from Beijing. Okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Sorry, I didn't make it clear. So it is super remote, but not rural. So I'm going to talk about how to get here and where to stay and how to get the ticket. So usually we fly to, I'll take this. Usually first you have to fly to Urumqi, and then you can either take a flight to these three resorts. There are airports nearby, small, and always if there's snow, the airport probably won't open. And also there are trains from Urumqi to this Zhangjunshan Resort and Koktokai Resort. And you can also drive a car or carpool. It's like there are some local drivers who drive the car and take people from Urumqi to all these resorts, and it usually take 5 to 6 hours to here if the road condition is normal. And if there's a blizzard, like yesterday, I went from Altai to Hemu. It took me 6 hours, but usually it only takes 3. And where to stay, there are a lot of hotels around the resorts, and a lot of them are open to foreigners. I asked about my foreign friends who are snowboarding here, and he said there's, as long as you have a valid visa and you stay in a hotel that is allowed to welcome foreigners, that's fine. There's nothing more needed. And where to get the tickets? It's the day lift tickets, we use WeChat, and there's an app in the WeChat that you can get the tickets. It's called Daka. I really don't know how to translate this to English. And we also have season pass, but it was sold in March this year. Like often it's sold in March every year, and it haven't been sold from April to now. And the day lift ticket is usually 300 to 600 RMB a day, and that is about $50 to $80 to $90.
Good.
So now we come to the three resorts I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about them from the smallest to the biggest. So first is the Zhangjunshan Resort. It's not big, really not big. The vertical drop is about 400 meters. That is a little bit more than 1,000 feet, but it has a nice terrain park. I remember the last year they actually invited the park crew for Switch Night. Is that what it called, Switch Night, to design the park? And so since it's not big, the runs are not long here, 1 to 2 kilometers. That is a little bit more than 1 mile, and it's very friendly to newbies. The good thing about this resort is that it's actually in the city of Altai. you drive for 5 to 10 minutes from the downtown to the base of the mountain. So it has the best infrastructure among the three resorts and the best traffic here. We usually just live in downtown Altai City. About the traffic, the flight from Urumqi to the Altai airport is about 2 hours. And if you take the train from Urumqi to Altai, it's an overnight train. You can get a nice bed, and it's about 10 hours. If you drive, it takes about 5 hours. Well, it has some very interesting traditions I like about. One is the epic sunset. So this is a sunset I took last year from the top of the mountain. So on the north side is the Altai Mountains. You can see all these mountains like all the way to the border of your site. And on another side, this is the sun, and this is the whole Altai city. Like you can see to the north side the whole Altai Mountains, and to the south side the whole city. And I think during December to March or April, there's always this nightclub like they have DJ up on the mountains at the sunset about 6 p.m. and we always take beer up there and dance. It's really fun and really special. The second resort I'm talking about is Koktoke. It's a lot bigger than Jiangjunshan Resort, the one I just talked about. The vertical drop is over 1,300 meters. That is
Times,
5,000 feet.
yeah, times 3.3, so it's like 5,000.
Yeah. It has a lot of off-piste area to both here and here, and trees and just big wide slopes. And there's natural half pipe and a little bit of pillow line in the here. The slopes are not steep. It's about a little bit more than 20 degrees, so it's very new skiers friendly. The downside about this resort is that the whole mountain is made of rocks, a lot of rocks. So never bring your new snowboards or skis here.
Now, in that that resort, how many lifts are there, and what kind of lifts are they?
About this resort, there are this is one main lift and another one here.
Oh yeah.
And this one is for green runs.
Yeah.
And there's a chairlift here. So
Okay.
most of the lifts in Xinjiang are gondolas because we got really, really cold weathers here.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Here's a chairlift, and this is the steepest run here. It's about 40 degrees
Hmm.
and a lot of rocks.
Yeah, that's good.
And there are two chairlifts in the bow. And about the last resort, Jiangjunshan, there are mainly 1, 2, 3, 4 lifts
And they're
that
all
take
gondolas.
you up to the top of the mountain.
And they're all gondolas.
Yes. One of the lifts, I believe, is a mix of gondolas and chairlifts, like one gondola followed by 3 chairlifts.
Yeah. Yeah, we call that a chondola. A chairlift
Interesting name.
gondola, a chondola. Yeah, cool.
Gondola. Yeah. Yeah. So Koktoka is a lot bigger than Jiangjunshan. It doesn't have a lot of lifts, but it do have a lot of skiable area, but it also has a lot of rocks. This is a view from the top of the mountain, and this is one of the bow, and here is another one, and here are all the Altai mountains. About the accommodation here, there there is a hotel on the resort, like ski in, ski out. But if you live here, you also got nothing else. Like there's only one or two restaurants up here and nothing more. So usually I would recommend you live in the town. The town is down down in the valley of the mountains. It's usually take 40 minutes up to the mountain if you take the shuttle. If you drive up there, it's 20 or 30 minutes. And if the traffic condition is really bad, like it just been snowing for a whole week, 1 meter steep powder, and the traffic is very, very challenging. I see a lot of cars going into the side of the road. So not a very good traffic. And how to get here? There's an airport. There's also a train station to another town near here. And you can, once you get to the airport and the train station, you can take the taxi here. It takes about 1 hour. And if you drive from Urumqi to Koktokkai town, it's 5 to 6 hours. There are also shuttles from Urumqi to here. Yeah, the third resort where I am at, it's Hemu. Look at the map. You can already feel it's a lot bigger than the last two, and it is. It's claimed to be the biggest resort with skiable area in the whole Asia. And it's got about 800-900 above tree line, all big white slopes, a lot of powder, and enough steep terrain and very few rocks. And it's also it held for Freeride World Tour qualifier competition last year, and it will hold for more this season. So this is a poster they had. So just next month, December 4th to December 8th, there will be two, I believe it's one star qualifier competition and one 3-star. And next year in February, there will be another two. And I got these photos from last year's competition. So here are some challenging terrain and very good white slopes.
Is that to qualify? This is for Chinese riders to qualify, or do foreigners come to this too?
I believe it's open to foreigners, but
It's a long way to come.
yeah, I remember most of the competitors last year are Chinese.
Yeah, cool.
A long way to come, and not a lot of people know this place, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the map, what were the pink areas, the pink round areas? What does that tell us on the map?
Yeah, it says avalanche terrain.
So it's closed.
Usually closed unless sometimes the avalanche risk is very low. Some of them will open, but usually they are closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And this is one of the picture I took from the gondola. So it's not very, very rare. It's pretty common to show this bright things. Usually after the snowy days, like on the Bluebird Day, we usually see this and rainbows and all those things. And you can see it's all white slopes, no trees, only trees down in the valley. So if you like riding trees, it's not a very good place. Yeah, and about this resort Hemu, the avalanche control are limited to ski cut by patrollers because this place is very sensitive. It's also close to the borders. I don't know why we do not have avalanche bombs. And there are two account on the WeChat that do avalanche research here, and we do have like avalanche skills course here. And this place is also a great place for alpine touring. We have about 100 alpine tourists here during the season, like always staying here. And on the right side, this picture is in the picture is one of my friends, and he's riding this like crazy drop. And I got this picture from last year's, from March this year. They had this big event that has actually 65 people touring on one slope.
Why were they all hiking up?
Um,
Are they hiking up for like a powder run, or why are they doing this?
yes, they're hiking up for a powder run. They're touring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like apart from the resort, which is already big enough, there are a lot of places for touring around this place, like on the backside of the mountain. And speaking of the resort, there are one, two, three, four, five gondolas here. And really a lot of runs. I usually get lost in the mountain.
Ah.
Yeah.
And how late does the season go? Into April or later? Or do you...
For this place, usually to late March or early April, and after that, the avalanche risk is too high, so it's closed. And usually it starts in November. Like rumors are the resort will be open for, on 15th this month.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and just to mention that for these three resorts, Koktoka has the longest season. Usually starts in early October, but this year it starts pretty late on October 20th, and usually lasts to May or June. Last season it closed at early May, and the season before that it closed at on early June. And the Jiangjunshan Resort in the Altai city is usually open in late November, early December, and close in April.
Great.
Yeah. And about the accommodation here, we live in the village, the Hemu village. It's relatively costly compared to the last few resorts during peak season in December, January, and February. The prices can go as high as over 1,000 RMB, while for other resorts, the accommodation is usually the lowest you can get is usually like 200 to 300 RMBs, and the highest is only a little bit over 1,000 RMB. But here in the peak season, the accommodation could be really hard to find and also costly. And the traffic to the resort, we have shuttle. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and the shuttle don't have to climb the mountain, so it's relatively quick and safe, but not really safe because the road is poorly plowed, always drive on the ice. And how to get here? There's an airport at Canas Lake, and from the airport to here is about an hour driving. And from the Altai city to Hemu, it takes about 3 hours to drive here if the traffic is good. And from Urumqi, if you fly to Urumqi first, it takes about 5 to 6 hours driving here. But the traffic condition is really, really unstable here. If there are big blizzards, the road could be closed and could be a lot of ice on there. And during spring, like from March to April, there are a lot of avalanche along the road, so the road may be closed every afternoon. And in the village, there is one gas station, but it's not always open. So one place I really don't recommend driving, but still worth it. It's also a very, very popular tourist destination during summer and also during winter. This is a village of Hemu at night. And this is the picture I took last December in the morning. So you can see the road is covered with snow. Oh yeah, that's all for
Nice.
now.
So what um the guests that or people that come to ski there, do they come from really far or it's mostly for locals? And how about like during the main holidays like December and Chinese New Year? Does it get crazy crowded like it does in Japan or even in the US?
Um, most people come from really far. Like even Beijing is far away from here. Most people come from main cities. The locals they do ski and snowboard, but there are not a lot of local populations here. Yeah, and during holiday, it's almost only during Chinese New Year it could get really crazy, like long lines. Like I would say the line is as long as a normal weekend in Whistler.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's not too bad then. Well, it's hard to
Yeah,
get there. It must be really hard to get there. It sounds like you have to be really committed to travel.
Yeah, do you think like do
yeah.
they have like driving service provided available like in the local area? Like there's like a driver takes like a pay service from take you from the airport to the local town, and then also they will provide service from the town up to the resort like every day if you want to go to ride. Like, do they have service like that?
There are a lot of drivers doing this, but there's not a certain like institution or company doing this. We usually contact the driver through WeChat,
Oh, okay.
but there are a lot of drivers. Yeah,
I see.
and they are mainly reliable. They're good at driving on ice.
So we just had a question, how difficult if you don't have a car to get around? I think that was just answered.
I think it's not really difficult. Like this time I come here, I don't have a car, so I take a shuttle from Urumqi to Koktokai. Like I'll use this map. I flew. I took the flight from Seattle to Chongqing and Chongqing to Urumqi. I took a shuttle from here to Koktokai. And yesterday I took a shuttle from Koktokai to Altai and then to Hemu. And in the town, since the town is really, really small, it's about like the longest road is 3 miles and it's still early season, like there's not a lot of snow in the town, so I would walk, and also sometimes I'd call a taxi here. So I think you'll be fine if you don't have a car.
And the question also is, do you recommend renting a car? Is it easy to rent a car?
Uh, I'm not really sure about foreigners renting a car. I think you have to get
Uh-huh.
a temporary Chinese driving license first. So you
Okay.
should get it maybe in the main city, at least in Urumqi, and then rent a car. And also, the traffic condition is far from good, like in the US or Canada,
Yeah.
especially if you are going to these bigger resorts in a more remote area.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. But if you drive slow, you'll probably be fine. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you,
And
Tata.
Tata, what are you an instructor in that area or you just live there? What's happening there?
I'm now taking a snowboard holiday here.
Oh,
I
nice.
just came back in the early November, and I usually live in Seattle.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So she just like go back to her second home and
Yeah, go
snowboarding
back to
over
my home
there.
mountain and also avoid the early season crowd in the US and Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very smart. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tata. Thank you for
Thank you so
sharing.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thanks,
yeah,
Tata.
yeah. All right.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen then. Okay. Right now I'm gonna start with the second topic or second area. We call Chongli. It's the Olympic took place. The Beijing Olympic actually they had several events in the Beijing, and most all other activities are hosted in this area. It's province called Hebei, next to Beijing. And I'm gonna start with a couple resorts, big or famous resorts in Chongli. And first one, I just go through really quick, and I will show you on the map like where it is and how it looks like, and how far from Beijing or whatever. I'm gonna talk about Wanlong Resort, Yunding Miyuan. It's in English really called Secret Garden, and Fulong is a small. It's not small. It is a smallish resort, but most likely you're gonna ski or snowboard on piste. There are no like on groomers all the time. There are no like off piste at all. And the fourth one, we call it a Galaxy or a Green Cloud Mountain Galaxy. It's a government-owned resort. And the fourth one called Taiwu. Taiwu. It's a resort really for skiers friendly. It's not friendly for snowboarders. I put like a heaven for skiers, and it's like 地狱怎么说来着
Hell.
And why
hell
is it
for-
not good for snowboarders? What
Yeah,
makes
that's very interesting. Is that the terrain or the location of this mountain is very windy, and usually it's not on the sunny side, and the terrain, the snow gonna be very hard and icy, and the groomer run is kind of narrowish. It's not good for especially beginners to make large turns on this slope. And for skiers, it's kind of not perfect, but kind of friendly for skiers compared to snowboarders.
Okay.
And I only have really limited experience over there. Honestly, I do not like this resort, but this resort has really fancy facilities. The base of this resort has a most modern city ish town, and you can shop, you can go have fun, like have ice skating and like restaurant and shopping areas. That is more like say Aspen or other like a holiday ish resort. And this resort is also only one operated in 4 seasons. In summer, they have other activities going on. All the other resorts, they do not, or at least not like for the whole year round. And the last one resort called Xueruyi. It's a new resort. It's not open yet, and they are planning on open up this season. But I really doubt that. A month ago, JTB, Josh, and I we have a visit at this resort, and we saw a lot of constructions are going on, but it's really, I don't know, it's like halfway done. And okay, I'm gonna talk more about the first two resort, or the first two very famous resort. Wanlong Resort is I would say the first resort in this area, and it's the most largest currently. Wanlong is famous about its freeride terrain and trails. It's the only resort I know in this area you can ride off piste. They open up the trails, and if you have enough snow coverage there, you can ride in the trails, and they will mark the whole resort, the whole area into as like area A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to area P or Q, if I remember it correct. It has different areas. It's pretty fun on a good snow day. And they also, another thing is like they have a greatest power of snowmaking. I heard like just maybe a week ago, when the temperature allows, they started to make snow. They use all their sources to just like blow snow in 24 hours and blow a whole terrain, like a whole run of this. It's really amazing to see it, and it's rideable already. And second one, Secret Garden this resort shares the same mountain with Wanlong Resort, but on the other side of the mountain, they are connected on the top, on the peak of the resort. You can ski or ride from this side all the way to the other side to Secret Garden and take a gondola up here and ride it back. And they sales it's two company, but they have a kind of like co-operate ticket. It's about $100 converted to dollars. It's about $100 per day for the two resorts ticket.
Okay.
And yeah, the Secret Garden Resort, it's very famous. Like it's very good for a lot of things. They have really good terrain park. They also have a Olympic level super half pipe, and they maintain that, and still they're gonna have the World Club, half pipe World Club in the winter in December, and Yiling Gu gonna like go over there and take their competition. And another thing good is they have an area called Area 22. It's famous about like carving, like for snowboarders. Carving is very wide. Some part of it is kind of mellow, and some part of it is steep-ish, like hard blue run, I would say, and it will suitable for like different level of covers. Not only skiers or snowboarders, mostly I would say is snowboarders, and also their beginner area is very friendly, and apparently they have a lot of beginners due to their marketing strategy, that they sell a bundle of like the lodging and the lift ticket together. They sell like a 2-day lift ticket and with 2 nights lodging, and each room has 2 lift ticket for pretty low price, say $200 or $300 for 2 nights and 2 days of riding. That's kind of attractable, I would say. And the third one, Fulong Resort, is a relatively new resort, and it's famous in a lot of ways. I put Gedou Xiaozhen behind it. It's in Chinese social media. It's a very famous word because a lot of younger generations are it's very energetic, and they kind of have conflicts and they fight each other. It's not a good thing, but it's famous about that. And the people will just make a joke on that. It's like for a fighting town. It's a fighting town. I don't like it, but this resort is very good for groomer, and they have very good night ski operation. And the town, the base of this resort is very good, pretty brand new. They have fancier restaurant, a lot of place to shop, and you can look around. And another thing is really close to the town, the Chongli, the city town. And okay, I'll just show you on the map to see where Chongli is, and you're gonna have a good idea of how close it is to Beijing and the whole area. If you are curious, this is a map of China. Then
Yeah.
this three is the Xinjiang area, the 3 resort Tata just talked about, and this is the Urumqi. You're gonna take like 4-hour flights from Beijing to here. Then you're gonna drive over there. It's really far away. And here is where Beijing is. This is the city, and These dots are where Chongli are. It's in the mountains, like on the northwest part of Beijing. And you're gonna usually it will take a if you take a train, it's 1 hour and a half 1.5 hour train to this resort to the town. If you're gonna drive from Beijing, it depends on where you are and what time you're gonna leave. Usually without traffic, it's about 3 hour drive from Beijing, say ring number three, pretty close to the downtown area, to these resorts, any of these resorts. And
You have to say that those are high-speed trains, right?
yeah, they
Yeah.
are high-speed trains,
Yeah, they're really cool.
right? And this is
I heard the high-speed train from Beijing to Chongli are the only high-speed train that don't allow snowboards and skis to get on.
What?
yes, yes, that's really ridiculous.
But like
Especially
you can put them on, but not with you, but in a certain like checked bag
yeah,
area.
it's checked and not always like your luggage and you gonna be on the same train, especially during the busiest the like say winter operations. I have experienced that like couple I took trains like 3 or 4 times in 2 years ago in February, but my experience is different. I did have my snowboard bag with me on the train, and I didn't check it. I just put it on the back of those seat. But I heard there are also other people so that like they do not allow you to get it.
You
Yeah,
got
it's
lucky.
just right. Probably I'm pretty lucky. But after that, I will just most of time I went there. I just drive. It's really easy for Chinese people rent a car. As Tata said, probably for a foreigner, as Jim or Ski Mag or other like foreigners, international driver lessons doesn't work in China,
Yeah, but
unfortunately.
one of my Canadian friend, he's staying in China for the whole summer and still here now, and he got his temporary Chinese driving license. I think it took him like half a day in the some like in Chengdu he got it and he can use it for half year. So if you're going to Beijing, you can probably do it pretty quick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I do not have the experience, so I cannot say anything about it.
You have to take it. I think you have to take a written test, and then you pass the written test, and with your U.S. driver license, then you can get like a Chinese driver license. But the written test is pretty difficult.
I think if you're going to pass the reading test, you can get a permanent driving
Yeah, that's a permanent one.
Chinese,
Yeah,
like a long-term license. But
yeah.
for a short-term one, the temperate one is pretty quick. You just have to pass the like eyesight test or something like
Oh, the
that.
physicals. Oh, that's good
Yeah.
news. That's good to know.
And it's really easy to find like a lodging in the town, and from the town, this is the town area. From the town area, you usually cost really depends on which resort you're gonna go. This one, the closest one is Fulong, the fighting town, fighting resort. This new and Wanlong is on this way. It's about 20 minutes to 30 minutes drive to there. And if you're gonna go to other two resort, probably to live in the town is not a good idea. You can live in another town close by. It's over here. There is Olympic Village. Used to be a village for Olympic athletics, like during Olympic Games, but currently it's like more like a hotel, like lodging place, and it's close to the other two resorts. I gonna time is pretty close. I gonna really go really quick to the Dongbei area, northeast
North-
area. In Dongbei, I would recommend first one area is like we call it double lakes, Songhua and Beidahu, and these two are two resorts very close to each other, only about a half-hour drive. And it's the most convenient way is to you gotta fly to Changchun, this city, and take a taxi. It's about like a 2 hours drive to here or to Jilin city, or otherwise you're gonna take a train. From my experience, like I'm from Dalian, I take a train like 4 hours train from all the way from here. This is Dalian, and 4 hours I was here in Jilin, and then Songhua is very, very close to the city. It's only like a 15 or 20 minutes drive from wherever you are. And Beidahu takes a little more effort, but it's close-ish to the city. And these two resorts are very large, very well built, and the difference is Songhua has only groomers, but they build a lot of like rollers or moguls or how do we call it, like a toilet seat terrain. You can ride around and go through a circle under below it, but it's all man-made. Beidahu is another resort that is famous about the free ride terrain. You can ride off-piste, you can ride the backside of the resort, but the trees are pretty tight. It's very, very tight. It's not for beginners at all. And it's another large resort. And for a not so convenient option is we call Wanfeng, which I pretty love it. This resort right here has the really huge, wide beginner terrain, and also its gondola takes it to there, and it's super good for wide, like long cycle carving. That's the reason I love it. And this resort is not famous, or it's not like a well trafficked, because it's really hard to get there. It's not very convenient, I would say. And that's mostly the Northeast big resorts.
And it's really close to North Korea.
Right. North Korea is over
Right
here.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, it's really close there.
And you can also just travel there, but for no reason. And there are a couple indoor slopes. The famous ones are three bigger, or Rongchuangs, like we call Sonic at the beginning. And currently there are more larger indoor resorts. One in the north is in Harbin. I honestly do not understand why they are doing the business there. It's like in the winter season, no people are gonna go indoors. It's only for like national team for training over there. And the indoor snow quality is very poor. It's icy and get soft really fast.
And it's very, very thin.
Yes. And
Like
it's
weird.
I do not recommend like go over there for your holiday. If you are visiting the area, it's like a good place to check it out. And another famous one is in Chengdu, right here in the heart of China. It's
Best
right in the
indoor
middle.
park.
Yes, this place is famous because they have really good terrain park indoor. They have two areas. One is for medium to large features. Like they are last month when Josh and I were there, they have two large jumps and two lines of jibbing, like large features, a rainbow one and like a rocket one. And another one in Guangzhou is another indoor slope. It's famous about. I never been there, but I heard a lot of story about it. It's like a lot of posy snowboarders, carvers are practicing or go over there. It's basically for Hong Kong people, for Guangzhou, like Guangdong people, like people who live in this big area. They're gonna have a chance to go over there. And currently, this year, just opened a large, they call so-called like a largest indoor resort. This is Shanghai. It's in Shanghai or close by Shanghai, on the corner over here. And Josh and I and with two friends we spent like 5 days in this resort. It is fun. The snow quality is pretty good. They have a steep-ish, relatively good steep slope and beginner slope, and but the downside is they do not have park. They said the manager said they are planning on build a park, but I didn't see that. Maybe they will change it in the future. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on to another topic about dry slope. There in China, in Chengdu area, there is a really special place. How do you call it, Benny? In Chinese,
I don't know, like just
in Chinese,
Jianfeng?
it's Jianfeng,
Right.
Jianfeng Hanxue.
I think they just like JF drive slow.
J-
You can just like put in, yeah, see what it calls over there. Yeah.
They do not have a picture of it. Do you want to share your screen, or you just start to talk, or whatever?
You can present, because I didn't get like no PowerPoint and stuff. Like, yeah. Brian and I were just like talk about it like an hour ago, right before this call. And Brian's like, do you want to talk about your experience in general? Like, sure. And then here I am. Yeah, it looks like that. And see if you can find a like an overview picture that show, yeah, like a top view, the bird eye view. And basically what that facility has is like multiple jump lines. And from starting, like the smallest one is 1 meter all the way up to 14 meters. So they have 1 meter, 3 meter, and then a little bit bigger, 6 meter and 8 meters. And then if you can go a little bit more bigger, it's like 10 meter and 14 meters. So it's really awesome place. Oh, so if you go up and 雪场介绍, and I think not here. Oh, go up and 滑雪项目, 对. Now it's got an overview, like I said, like 1 meter, 3 meter, 6 meter, 10 meter, and 14 meter. And they recently just built the 8 meter right next to the 6 meter, and that's why this picture is not showing over there. So basically, the whole facility looks like this. And in additional to all the jump lines, they also have just dry slope by itself, like not a jump line. Like you can just like enjoy, like practice your riding in general, or like even you want to learn how to ski, how to snowboard for the first time, you can do it over there. They just have a slope for that. And in addition to that, so the way that you go is that you head over there and then just buy tickets for a session. Sessions for the slope and 1 meter and 3 meter are all together, and you can get it for one time for 4 hours. And 6 meters and 8 meters, you can get it for one session for 2 hours. And if you want to go a little bit more than that, go above that for 10 meters and 14 meters, I think they have like a private system that you have to contact those people to get in line and get a session for that. So I was able to try it except for the 14 meters, I tried all of them, like ranging from 1 meter to all the way to up to 10 meters. It was a great place for just practicing, honing down your skills, and then just training. And then they're opened after in the afternoon and in the evening for like to the general public, and in the morning they only open for the national teams, or like if like the organization you want to like sign up for spot training over there, they open to those people. They open like only to selective groups. So yeah, so it's a great spot for training. And the only regret I had was that I did not go there sooner, or I did not spend longer time over there. And is the drive slow is that you can see here, all the landing area, they are giant airbags. So you don't really have to worry about like injuring yourself landing as much as you would on like real snow. But I do recommend if you go there for the first time riding drive slow, you have protective gears, because if you like accidental falls on the drive slow, it could hurt if you don't have protective gears, especially when you go to the bigger jumps like 6 meters or above, and then you just like catch an edge on the jump, and then it could hurt. And I think, yeah, so during the summer it's very popular, like I think starting in June and then all the way up to August. I've heard there's a lot of people go over there just to training. And in the summer, while it's hot, and then so people just go there, and then you'll get wet. So like in the summertime while it's hot, and then people don't mind getting wet and training over there. And then when it's time for like around October or November right now, and then it gets very cold, especially at night. And so I would recommend, if you go there, prepare for like a wetsuit within, and then you have like waterproof out layered cover on top of that, and then you should be good to go. So yeah, it's pretty cool spot. I like my time spent over there for like a week, and it's not difficult to get there either. So Brian, if you go up to scroll up，就上面，不是往下走，往上走。对，去那个雪场介绍。Yeah, click that. And I think on the right side, 地理位置. Yeah, that's the picture of the entrance, by the way, that we just shown. So it shows that the red dot, it's where the dry slope facility is at. 你看, can you like zoom out a bit on the left side? Yeah, there you go. Like out a little bit more. So it's located to the north of the Chengdu city. I think like you can see on the bottom right, it's like one of the airports. I think there's another airport just located closer, maybe somewhere around there. And then both airports could take you to the facility. I think it's ranging from an hour to like an hour 30 minutes, something like that. So in the summer I lived in the Guangdong province, right? So all the way down south of China. And then I took the high-speed train from there all the way up to Chengdu, and it took me about like 7 hours. And then I got off the high-speed train station and then took a ride from the high-speed train station to the dry slope facility. Like I think it's about an hour as well. So it's not too far. It's pretty easy to get to. Like it's a great place for summer freestyle training. Like you can, for example, you haven't touched snow at all, and you want to just like learn how to ride, and then learn as soon as you know how to make S turns, and then maybe you can try a little bit of start from 1 meter, and then you progress to like 3 meter. Like you can start from like a total beginner of a skier or rider, when you train to be like the king of the dry slope without even touching the real snow. Like you can do it all over there in that facility. So I'm highly recommend. If people like have the time to go there, and I would definitely recommend you to try training over there. So yeah.
Benny, you said wearing a wetsuit.
Wetsuit, yeah.
Wetsuit you go surfing with, kind of
Yeah, wetsuit. Yep.
Because they spray water all the time? Is
Yeah,
that
they spray water. Yep, exactly. You'll get wet. If you don't have the wetsuit, like you'll get soaked, your whole body.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in the summertime is okay, but
Right.
as
But
it
if it's
gets
colder and then you want to get
yeah.
wet and then you
Okay.
probably want to like get waterproof out layer, cover yourself.
I always wondered about that. I thought, they spray water and then people go ski and snowboard and then they tell everyone wait 20 minutes, they water again. You're saying they're constantly watering these.
Yeah, there's constantly getting water.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
As soon as one person gets out the landing, then the next person can drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Benny.
Yep.
All right. I think tonight's our happy hour is about it. And last thing, I probably just like a surprise thing. I just found it online as to answer Justin's question. Yes, Josh and we spent 5 days in the Shanghai new resort, and it's pretty fun. But you don't want to be there like all the day, every day, and you're gonna get bored very quick. All right, Ski Mac, this is for you. Really quick surprise. This is the Shanghai resort we're talking about.
Maolin.
And I'm gonna zoom in. Gonna see how it looks. See, guess where it is. Did you
Oh,
see that? Did you see that?
Oh, wow. Pretty.
That's the satellite's like picture or like this building on the roof on the top of it.
Oh, that's the top of the building, or is that a field?
That's the top of the building, this ski resort or the indoor resort. I just found it like today. It's really interesting to look
That
that.
is very cool. That is very
Right.
cool.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Here's tonight's
Thank you.
presentation. Like, if you have any questions, leave a message, or I believe Schema leave his emails, or we're gonna send the link of this sharing
Yeah.
the recording. And okay, I'm gonna stop recording.